The morning at Oak Island is unusually calm, almost eerily quiet. A soft mist hangs over the excavation site, shrouding the machinery and the work crew in a gray haze. As the cameras come to life, Rick Lagina walks slowly toward the center of the site. Unlike previous seasons, his face does not display excitement or curiosity alone. There is a deep sense of seriousness, almost unease, etched into his expression. In his hand, he holds the latest data from the ground scans, and as he reads the numbers, a hush falls over the entire crew. The density readings from beneath the surface are far higher than expected. It is clear to everyone that what lies below is not just soil or rock. These readings point to something solid, something intentionally built. Rick's voice, calm but heavy with gravity, breaks the silence. "This doesn't look natural," he says, almost to himself. The weight of his words sets a tense energy over the site. Modern technology has revealed what was once only suspected. Ground-penetrating radar, muon tomography, and other depth-measuring equipment all point toward the same conclusion. Approximately 40 feet below the surface, a square-shaped structure has been detected. It appears deliberate, constructed with care, unlike any natural formation. Experts examining the scans suggest this might be a vault or a closed chamber. Its precise shape, the symmetry of its edges, and the density of its walls indicate an engineering feat that could not have been created by chance. The team is stunned. The atmosphere at Oak Island has shifted from cautious curiosity to a mixture of awe and anxiety. The discovery becomes even more extraordinary when carbon dating results from wooden remains found near the structure arrive. The tests indicate the wood dates back to the 12th or 13th centuries. This revelation immediately links the site to the era of the Knights Templar. Historians note that if this is indeed a Templar-related structure, the items contained within could be invaluable, not only in monetary terms, but also in historical and cultural significance. This possibility raises more questions than answers. What could a medieval European group have left in North America, buried so carefully and so deep? What secrets might this vault hold that have been hidden for centuries? Rick's voice deepens as he considers the implications. If this is true, we're standing just steps away from Oak Island's greatest secret. The words resonate with the team, and a tension unlike any previous season settles over the site. Rick's demeanor has changed significantly compared to previous seasons. His eyes, once full of hope and excitement, now reflect caution, thoughtfulness, and even fear. He no longer rushes into decisions. Instead, he crouches to inspect the ground, reviews reports multiple times, and communicates with his team in short, precise statements. He listens more than he speaks, showing the gravity of the situation. The crew, in turn, has adjusted to Rick's new approach. Jokes have faded, laughter is rare, and every team member moves with heightened focus. The excitement of discovery now walks hand in hand with the fear of making a misstep. The scientific readings intensify the urgency. Ground-penetrating radar shows dense zones beneath the soil in organized patterns. AI analysis of the scan data confirms the suspicion. This is not a random natural formation, but an engineered structure. Muon tomography, an advanced technology using cosmic particles to scan the ground, reveals a square-shaped void with straight edges and sharp corners. Unlike natural caves, which tend to be irregular, this structure is precise, symmetrical, and enclosed. Experts suggest that the contrast between the dense walls and the empty interior is characteristic of secret storage chambers built to protect valuable objects. This data elevates the Oak Island excavation from theory to undeniable reality. The site now contains a deliberately constructed vault, likely built with extraordinary skill for a purpose no one fully understands yet. The dimensions of the vault, as measured by the team, suggest it is large enough to hold several people or substantial objects. The four walls are straight, the roof flat and the corners nearly perfect. The density surrounding the structure is unusually high, implying thick walls possibly reinforced with metal or other materials. The void inside suggests an empty space, possibly intended to contain treasure or items of historical importance. The flood tunnels surrounding Oak Island only reinforce the idea that whoever constructed this vault understood engineering at an advanced level. Protecting a chamber at 40 feet below ground while ensuring it remains dry and secure from water intrusion indicates extraordinary planning and knowledge. Carbon dating of the wooden beams found near the structure further solidifies the mystery. Dating places them between 1200 and 1300 AD, coinciding with the height of the Knights Templars' influence in Europe. If this vault is indeed linked to the Templars, it suggests they may have crossed the Atlantic and hidden treasures or artifacts far from their homeland. This raises questions about early exploration, engineering knowledge, and the movements of secret societies centuries before recorded colonial history. The Oak Island site now transforms from a treasure hunt to a historical investigation with global significance. The Knights Templar were not ordinary warriors. They were known for their wealth, secret knowledge, and engineering expertise. Historical accounts describe their ability to construct complex tunnels, hidden chambers, and highly secure storage areas. The patterns seen at Oak Island, the money pit, engineered flood tunnels, and now a square vault, reflect techniques that align closely with what is known of Templar construction. This discovery has the potential to reshape our understanding.
He refused all offers to sell or move the items. His priority was clear: protect the history, preserve the evidence, and make sure the knowledge passed on was accurate. The lessons from the past had taught him that greed and haste could destroy legacies. Exploring the canyon marked on the map became the next priority. Parker, along with his most trusted crew, carefully navigated the rugged terrain described in the journals. Every rock, every river bend, and every tree was checked against the old maps. The team understood that they were not simply searching for gold. They were following a trail left by people who had risked their lives to preserve it. Every step carried caution, respect, and responsibility. When they finally located the buried container in the canyon, the team felt the tension in the air. It was quiet, almost reverent. Parker carefully removed the container from the earth, revealing another chest marked with the same crest as in the vault. Opening it was done with extreme care. Inside were more journals, documents, and sealed scrolls. These items were not treasures to be sold, but messages and records from people who had lived and traveled long before modern mining. Historians confirmed the authenticity of the materials. They noted that many of the symbols, writings, and markings did not match any known culture in the region. The gold bars were from a different era and location, refined long before they arrived in the Yukon. Parker realized that the vault and the canyon together formed a network, a historical trail left by people to survive, to protect knowledge, and to safeguard what could not be risked. Parker also learned about the dangers of keeping these items secret. The journals described individuals being followed, questioned, and threatened. John Schnabel, understanding the potential consequences, chose silence and protection. Parker now had to take on that same responsibility. Every decision carried risk, not just for him, but for his crew, and for the legacy of those who had come before. The season on the claim continued, but the focus had shifted. Mining operations were still essential, but Parker balanced them with preservation work. He trained the crew to handle artifacts properly, to respect the documents, and to understand that this was a new kind of challenge, one that combined mining with historical stewardship. Every day on the claim became a mix of labor, research, and respect for the past. Parker reflected on what his grandfather had taught him. John Schnabel had understood that gold was more than wealth. It was influence, power, and sometimes danger. By protecting these artifacts and records, Parker was honoring that wisdom. He realized that success was no longer measured solely in ounces of gold, but in the trust, knowledge, and protection he provided. The vault became the symbol of a new era for the claim. Crew members treated it as sacred ground. Any entry required permission and care. The presence of the vault changed how work was conducted, how machines were operated, and how everyone interacted with the land. Mistakes were no longer just costly, they could threaten history itself. As the weeks passed, Parker also considered the future. He knew that one day the artifacts might need to be studied further, perhaps even displayed for educational purposes, but he wanted to make sure it was done correctly. He set strict rules for handling, copying, and sharing the information. Every decision was deliberate, slow, and well documented. Parker spoke openly to the crew about leadership. True leadership, he explained, was about knowing when to act and when to pause. It was about protecting people and knowledge, not just chasing profit. Mining had taught him risk, resilience, and hard work. The vault taught him restraint, respect, and responsibility. Both lessons were essential to survival on the claim. Even as the world speculated online, Parker remained silent about specifics. He understood that misinformation could cause harm. Some people understand the immense responsibility they now carry. Opening the vault could reveal treasures beyond imagination, but it could also expose secrets that might alter our understanding of history forever. Meanwhile, the scientific team continues to analyze the muon tomography and ground-penetrating radar data. The scans are repeatedly cross-checked, confirming that the vault's edges are sharp, symmetrical, and unmistakably man-made. Density readings suggest extremely thick walls, possibly reinforced with metal or treated wood. These walls, combined with the engineered flood tunnels, indicate that whoever built this structure had advanced knowledge of engineering and safety. The vault was designed to last centuries and to withstand attempts at unauthorized entry. The scale and precision of the construction suggest a level of planning far beyond what could be expected from ordinary settlers or pirates. The deeper the excavation team digs, the greater the sense of mystery and awe. The vault lies far below the surface, and as the team works carefully to expose its entrance, it becomes clear that opening it will not be a simple task. The surrounding ground must be stabilized to prevent collapse. The flood tunnels must be carefully monitored to ensure water does not enter the chamber. Every precaution is taken, but the tension is palpable. The crew understands that history, fortune, and perhaps even lives are at stake. The psychological impact of the discovery weighs heavily on Rick. He understands that revealing what lies inside the vault is not merely a personal decision. It carries historical, legal, and ethical consequences. He spends hours reviewing data, discussing strategies with the team, and consulting experts off-site. Rick's usual optimism has been replaced with careful deliberation. His leadership now focuses on preserving history while keeping the excavation safe. The responsibility is immense, and the eyes of the world are watching. Government attention adds another layer of complexity to the operation. Unmarked vehicles and mysterious personnel have been spotted around the island, sparking speculation about official oversight. Some believe these individuals are monitoring the excavation to ensure nothing dangerous is unearthed. Others suggest that they are guarding information of historical significance, perhaps related to the Knights Templar or ancient gold or historical documents. Rick and the team are cautious, respecting legal boundaries while remaining determined to uncover the truth. Restricted zones and delayed permits force the crew to adjust their plans continuously. The potential value of the vault's contents cannot be overstated. Experts estimate that if the structure contains Templar artifacts, ancient gold, or historical documents, the value could exceed $150 million. However, the significance is far greater than monetary. Discovering relics or documents tied to the Knights Templar could reshape our understanding of medieval history, early transatlantic exploration, and even religious and political networks of the time.
Museums, governments, and universities around the world could have a stake in these findings. The Oak Island Vault is no longer just a treasure, it is a portal to knowledge that could change history. Despite the precautions, danger is never far away. The flood tunnels, combined with centuries-old wooden supports and shifting soil, create a constant threat of collapse. Engineers warn that even a slight misstep could cause the walls to fail, potentially trapping workers or destroying centuries-old artifacts. Rick understands these risks better than anyone. Each decision is made with the knowledge that one mistake could erase decades of research and discovery. The stakes are higher than ever. The team also faces internal tension.
Some crew members are eager to push forward, driven by the promise of discovery. Others advocate for extreme caution, prioritizing safety over speed. Arguments arise over the pace of excavation, methods of reinforcement, and whether the vault should be opened at all. Rick listens to each perspective carefully, weighing safety, historical importance, and the potential consequences of every action. His role has shifted from explorer to guardian, responsible for ensuring that Oak Island's secrets are revealed safely and responsibly. As the excavation continues, the team begins to uncover additional evidence that supports the theory of Templar involvement. Wooden beams and supports match designs used in medieval Europe, and the precision of the vault's construction aligns with historical accounts of Templar engineering. These clues, combined with carbon dating and advanced scanning technology, suggest that Oak Island is far more than a treasure site. It is a historical puzzle that may hold answers to centuries-old mysteries. The emotional toll on the crew is significant. Each new discovery brings excitement tempered by fear. The awareness that they are handling objects that may be hundreds of years old, potentially containing priceless knowledge or artifacts, heightens every moment of the excavation. Rick often pauses to reflect, his expression serious, eyes fixed on the ground, considering the historical and ethical implications of every decision. The team understands that Oak Island is no longer just a treasure hunt. It is a responsibility, a mission to preserve history while uncovering its secrets. The potential for global impact grows with each passing day. If the vault contains documents, religious artifacts, or items tied to the Knights Templar, the revelations could reach far beyond Oak Island. Historians, religious scholars, and governments around the world would have a vested interest in the findings. Rick and his team are acutely aware that their work could spark debates, redefine historical narratives, and influence academic and cultural communities worldwide. This knowledge adds weight to every choice they make. As they approach the vault itself, the team faces the ultimate question: how to open it safely. With flood tunnels lurking nearby, wooden supports centuries old, and walls potentially reinforced, the operation must be executed with absolute precision. Engineers design safety protocols, archaeologists provide guidance on historical preservation, and Rick oversees the entire process. Each drill, each cut, and each movement is calculated to minimize risk. The air is thick with anticipation, tension, and the understanding that this moment could define their lives and careers. The crew's pace slows even further as the team nears the vault. Every drill, shovel, and movement is deliberate. Engineers double-check structural supports, ensuring that centuries-old wood and soil can hold the weight above. The flood tunnels loom silently, reminding everyone that a single mistake could release a surge of water capable of flooding the entire excavation site. Tension is visible on every face. Excitement battles fear with every passing moment. Rick walks alongside the excavation pit, occasionally pausing to inspect the ground. His eyes are sharp, scanning for the smallest signs of instability. Every now and then he kneels to examine soil samples or inspect wooden beams exposed by previous digging. His posture shows the weight of responsibility he feels, not just for the excavation, but for the historical legacy that the vault represents. This isn't simply a treasure hunt anymore.
It is a delicate mission to reveal centuries-old secrets safely. The scientific data continues to confirm the unusual nature of the vault. Ground-penetrating radar reveals walls of extraordinary thickness, suggesting not only durability, but possibly the use of materials unknown or rare for the time period. The muon tomography scans show empty space inside, confirming a hollow chamber large enough to hold multiple people or large objects. These scans eliminate doubts about the vault's authenticity. It is not a natural formation.
It is a carefully engineered structure designed for protection and secrecy. As the team discusses the next steps, historians and archaeologists emphasize the importance of preserving the integrity of the site. Any misstep could destroy irreplaceable historical evidence. They carefully outline a plan to reinforce the surrounding soil, stabilize wooden supports, and slowly expose the entrance to the vault. Each step is documented meticulously, ensuring that even if the vault remains sealed for safety reasons, the excavation process is preserved for future study. Rick listens carefully, making decisions that balance safety, historical importance, and the excitement of discovery. Excavation reveals more evidence of intentional construction. Wooden beams, carbon dated to the 12th and 13th centuries, are found carefully positioned in symmetrical patterns. These beams are far older than anything previously found on Oak Island, directly linking the vault to the time of the Knights Templar. Experts argue that the precision of the construction indicates advanced knowledge of engineering. Whoever built this vault had not only the intent to protect its contents, but also the skill to ensure the structure could withstand centuries of environmental pressure. The crew now faces a critical decision: how to open the vault without risking collapse or damage. Engineers suggest using a combination of modern support structures and slow, manual excavation. Archaeologists insist on documenting every inch and every artifact that might appear as the process unfolds. The tension is palpable. Some crew members are eager to push forward quickly, driven by the thrill of discovery. Others advocate extreme caution, fully aware of the risks involved. Rick remains calm, carefully weighing each opinion, knowing that one wrong choice could destroy history, or worse, endanger lives. Meanwhile, the potential value and historical significance of the vault continue to grow in the team's minds. Carbon dating, historical research, and expert consultation all point to an origin linked to the Knights Templar. This raises the possibility that the vault contains far more than gold. Rare artifacts, ceremonial objects, religious relics, and even documents of historical importance could be inside. If the vault is opened successfully, the findings could rewrite parts of medieval history, reshape theories about early transatlantic travel, and provide insight into secret societies of the era. The stakes have never been higher. As the excavation continues, the emotional weight on the team becomes evident. Many crew members are visibly tense, knowing that history and safety hang in the balance. Rick shows both determination and caution, understanding the responsibility he carries. The cameras capture moments of silent reflection, brief nods of agreement, and careful adjustments to machinery. Every action is amplified by the knowledge that the smallest error could undo centuries of planning and secrecy. The first hints of the vault's entrance appear as excavation slowly exposes the area. A square outline begins to form, confirming the shape indicated by muon tomography and radar scans. The walls of the chamber appear thick and sturdy, built with precision. The symmetry of the vault is remarkable. Each corner appears perfectly aligned, and the walls rise evenly from the base. This level of construction demonstrates careful planning and advanced techniques that many experts attribute to the Templar era. At this point, Rick gathers the team to discuss the approach.